Okay, so we've made it. Day 70 of the grid. Finished. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If we have a look at the results, they're not spectacular. Now, they're all right. There's a little bit of a result, a little bit of progress, but in reality, it's not something that you'll call home about. You know, you'll be like, oh yeah, shit, do you see the results that I did over 70 days? You would expect a little bit more. Now, we have to remember, it's a summer period. A lot of traveling was going on. There were a lot of events going on. And this was expected. It was anticipated that I would be slacking a little bit. Sometimes I'd be drinking a little bit more than I should have. That would lead to eating foods that I shouldn't really be eating, especially if I'm trying to, you know, slim down, lose weight. Sometimes, well, no, the exercise was pretty consistent. Not all of the time, but this is the point of this grid. I managed to track everything. Now, if we were to take a look at how many times I messed up out of 70 days, I'm gonna count them. We can take a look and see. And this will give me a little bit of an indicator as to why my results aren't the best. And then I'm gonna get into what could have been done to improve. And, well, let's just take a look at the grid first and then we'll get into the rest. So, out of 70 days, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 days where I could have done better. 19 days that I messed up out of 70 days. So that's all right. It's not the worst. It's a pretty good ratio. But then if I take a closer look, right, well, the days where I messed up is when I went hard. I drank loads and when I say loads, I had over 4 or 5 pints, put it that way. And then probably a little bit more than that, to be honest with you, but you define loads, whatever gets you a little bit tipsy and above. But the problem with that is that food usually followed. Crisps was my go-to, and sometimes burgers and that. But then the rest was relatively consistent. I was intermittent fasting throughout. I was trying to keep up my HIIT workouts. I didn't do as much weightlifting as I would have liked to. I didn't have the time to go down to the gym all of the time because, interestingly enough, over the course of these 2 months, the workload picked up quite a bit. So I had to kind of focus more on that. And I had to figure out how to exercise in a way that was going to allow me to fit something in that was pretty effective, fast, and that did the job, but that allowed me to do it at home because I couldn't go to the gym, drive down there, go through the whole process, which takes about 2 hours in total. And if I work out at home, HIIT session can take up to half an hour to maybe even an hour. But at least if I work out at home, then I'm good to go. I can immediately get back into the workload. So that was one of the issues. The other issue is this. Okay. If you think out of 70 days, you mess up, let's say 20 days, right? I messed up 19 days, but let's say 20, okay? What defines messing up? What defines falling off the wagon, basically, is messing up. That's what defines it. So what's falling off the wagon? Falling off the wagon is when either you don't do the exercise, you eat junk food, and then you drink a lot of alcohol, and yeah, that defines falling off the wagon. I did that. In my mind, I have been pretty consistent over the past, let's see, since 2009, I would say maybe. 2009, 2008 is when I really started going a little bit intense with the running. I was a severe runner back in the day. And that kind of started to help me build the habit until today, where I find it second nature to exercise and live a healthy lifestyle. To me, it's something that I enjoy doing because it's like a game. I got to figure out how to be healthy so that 1, I can live longer, 2, I look better, and 3, I feel better in my own skin. So those 3 components are really important to me. And the way I do that is by living right, choosing a lifestyle that allows me to do that. Now, I don't have to live like a psychopath. As you can see on this grid, it shows. Usually when we think of dieting, we think you have to cut everything out. We have to stop everything. We have to cut out all of our favorite foods. We have to stop socializing, because when we go to social events, there's a lot of tempters that are there. You know, there's a lot of food that's present that's high calorie. There's a lot of alcohol that's present that allows us to kind of go easy on how strict we are with ourselves. You know, we relax ourselves. We drink, we get relaxed, and then when we relax, our discipline is relaxed, and so we just indulge in whatever's on offer. And then the following day, especially if we drink a lot, the following day we're hungover. And then when we're hungover, well, I remember I don't really get hungover anymore because there's a way to overcome it if you know what you're doing. But the majority of the people, when they get hungover, what happens in general is we don't want to do anything. We don't feel motivated to exercise. And we think that greasy food is the key to overcoming that hangover. And so it's a vicious cycle, because we enjoy the night before, maybe we lose the plot and we eat a lot. And it's all good. That one night, it's not the worst. It's not the end of the world. But then the following day, that's when the problem occurs. Do we get back on the wagon? Do we get back on the horse and start going again? Or do we follow suit and eat some crap and maybe even have a few drinks as well to kind of help us overcome the hangover? And then there you go, that's 2 days ticked off. And it's easy to break momentum. It's easy to mess it all up, because there's that one quote that says, "The chains of habit are too weak to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken." So if we start relaxing our discipline and easing off the protocol that we set ourselves, it gets very easy to forget where we were coming from and what we were doing and what the goal is, and we get demotivated, and that causes us to give up. We need to forget about that mentality. And this is why the grid is very key, because it allows me to see exactly what I'm doing. Now, I flew off the rails 19 times. In reality, I'm not really happy with my results, first of all. I'm not happy with the results, but I didn't put on any weight, so I guess that's kind of good. I got a little bit more defined. That's kind of good. Not amazing, right? But again, it's 70 days during the summer period, which is a period where we all know what goes on. We all have active lives, social lives. We're not blind to what's going on, basically. So it's up to you to decide how you're living your lifestyle. I know that these past 70 days, I was getting involved with everything, and I was just trying to remain disciplined. It wasn't the easiest, as you can see, I fell off the wagon. But in reality, I think I should have put a few more X's and O's when it comes to me. Because I know that maybe you think, this isn't too bad, Zaid. You did 70 days and 19 days you fell off the wagon, and you didn't put on any weight. You kind of lost a little bit of weight. That's great. Yes. But then what defines falling off the wagon? Because if results really are to be there, because if we look at everything here, I'm doing intermittent fasting pretty much every day. I'm working out. I'm doing some form of workout pretty much every day. I'm doing the steps for sure. I'm doing the high intensity interval trainings for sure. I could have worked out more in the gym pushing weights, because I do believe that when we weight train, that's where it's at when it comes to losing fat. I mean, you can't do everything, right? But as long as I'm exercising, and I'm doing resistance training in the form of high intensity interval training, which is good. As long as I'm exercising, it's all good. Cardio is also good. So I'm doing some form of exercise every day, or nearly every day. Okay, there's some days where I don't think I did. Yeah, there's some days where I just did the steps, right? But as long as we're doing the steps, it's the baseline. The steps, the water, the fruit and veg. Now, granted, I don't think every day I ate all the veg. I ate fruit for sure every day. Sometimes, if I remember correctly, there were some days, well, yeah, there's just a run. I don't know. Maybe I got lazy there as well. But when I did eat unhealthy food, I did put it down. Now, like for example here, booze. Here I had a pizza, right? There I had some Monster Munch. Some more booze. Here, 2 beers and a burger. And these are days that I did not tick off, right? These are days where I just allowed myself to relax. Booze here. Here I had a pizza and some more booze. Well, this was when I was in Greece. In theory, I should have put an X there. Level out to 20 days. Then here I did steps, water, fruit and beers. Booze, kebab. Right, so now I gotta be honest with myself. Did I do the best that I could have done? No. I know that I can be very strict with myself. But did I enjoy myself? Yes, I did enjoy myself. I had a great time during these 70 days. And you know what? These 70 days flew by just like that. It was ridiculous. Because when I finished the 70-day grid, I was like, whoa, that already 70 days? Now when I started, you start block 1 and you think, okay, let's see where this goes. And then bang, you finish and you look back and it's like, okay, that was pretty good. It built a habit. Now, I did have a good time. I did allow myself to drink some booze, like some nice beers in the sun, have a few crisps, eat a few kebabs, eat a few pizzas. It was great. I liked doing all of that. I didn't drive myself crazy. I did lose some weight. I'd say I probably lost about 1.5 kilos to maybe 2 kilos. Maybe over the course of 2 months. Now, this is consistent. Because imagine if I kept doing this over the whole year, the course of a whole year, I'd probably lose maybe 7-8 kilos over a year. Now that's great because it's consistent, and guess what? I'm building the habit of exercise. I'm building the habit of drinking water, eating fruit and veg. All of that is very key when it comes to having a healthy lifestyle. Exercise plus activity, movement, and a good healthy source of nutrition is how we stay healthy, slim or slimmer for longer. Crash diets don't work. This was the point of the grid. A crash diet is one line. You do 10 days in a row or maybe 2 weeks in a row. If you're strong mentally and you got a lot of willpower, you could do a month where you cut everything out, you decrease your calories, you minimize everything, and the results are pretty spectacular. You can lose a lot, but then what happens the month after that or 2 months after that? We gain everything. We just put it all back on and then some. And that's the point of the grid. It's to track everything. It's to show us a guide of what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. Are we exercising consistently? Are we eating too much junk food? Are we drinking too much booze? There's a pattern in this. The pattern is every Friday I'm drinking too much. And what happens when I drink too much? Well, then the following day, the possibility of slacking is there. So maybe I should try and decrease the amount I drink on a Friday or on a Saturday. I can identify patterns in this. Now, what I'm going to do is probably just do another 70 days. I don't know when, maybe in a week or so, I'll start another grid. And then I'll show you what being ridiculously disciplined looks like. And if I'm ridiculously disciplined, it's more so going to be in terms of how much I drink and what I eat. I think the discipline starts there. 6-packs are made in the kitchen. They're not made in the gym. The gym adds to it. It helps you build the muscle up by training the muscle. And then in the kitchen, you eat the right foods to build that muscle up. That's where it's at. But really, a 6-pack is made in the kitchen. So if you're thinking about taking on some form of diet plan, or let's say lifestyle plan, because when we hear diet, we freak out. A lifestyle, it's important to think about what kind of lifestyle do I want to live? How do I want my body to look? Do I need to have a 6-pack? Do I just want to be fit? Do I want to be able to walk upstairs and not be out of breath? Do I want to be able to go for a short jog and enjoy it rather than hate it and despise it? And this is all habit building. We've got to build a habit. So I'd recommend starting with walking and then slow jogging, doing like a 10-minute jog, going for a walk and jogging at the same time, mixing it up. Then eventually we do get used to it. And we love it. I used to hate running. It was my friend Sam and his girlfriend back in the day who got me into running. Then at university, I had this friend called Gabor. He was a Hungarian fella. He got me into running big time, long distance, because we go for runs of like 10, 15K. He was a tall guy and I'd have to keep up with him. And I would be running on a treadmill as well a lot in the gym, which was boring. But with this guy, we'd go out in the park and we'd run like 10, 15K. And then it became really enjoyable. So it was a habit that I had to build up. And then I started enjoying working out because I started seeing the results. I started to associate going to the gym and lifting weights with getting the results that I wanted physically, which made me feel happy. So I was like, okay, every time I work out, it's going to give me, or it's going to get me closer to my goal. So working out is pleasurable, and I link those two together. And now I think about workouts and exercise and moving as fun and good because it helps me get closer to my goal. And that's what we should be looking at this whole situation. Like this whole approach to the lifestyle is eating healthy is fun because it helps us get closer to our goal. Working out and exercising is fun because it helps us reach our goal. It's not something we should think, oh, God damn it, I gotta go and work out now. Like, this is so annoying. I get it. It's comfortable to be watching Netflix. It's comfortable to be scrolling on our phones. I mean, I've done it multiple times. I've even done it this morning, I think. I waste half an hour to an hour just browsing through different social media platforms. It really does suck the time out of our day, and that's the problem. We think we haven't got enough time to exercise or to eat right, but if we were to prioritize the important things in our day, like exercising and cooking our meals or choosing the right foods to eat, being mindful about it, then that would help us really narrow down on what we're doing to get ourselves closer to the objective of losing weight. If we just get caught up living passively, just consuming a lot of content that's all out there, there's a lot of content out there that's entertaining, and we're addicted to the machine that stimulates all of this dopamine in our brains and makes us feel good because it's entertaining. But at the end of the day, we're consuming passively, not really paying attention, being entertained, I guess. But what about our goal? What about the initial goal of losing weight? That's the important part here. That's the focus. That's the point of this grid. So if I were to realize, for example, that I'm not exercising, for example, on the days that I don't exercise, I should wonder, did I not have enough time? Or what did I do that stole my time? And if I realize it's the fact that I was chilling on my phone or chilling on my laptop or watching Netflix or whatever it was that was stealing my time, then maybe I should think about maybe exercising half an hour before sitting down to consume all of this stuff. That's just an idea. It's about taking responsibility and being active about where our time is going, because it's all about allocating time. Exercising and eating right, it's all time. We haven't got the time. And then the second step is learning to enjoy it. But then it's about asking ourselves questions as well. What do I enjoy? What can I do to make this pleasurable? What can I eat that's healthy and that I like? What can I do? The what question is key. What? How? Okay, where can I go? But when we start asking, why is this crap so painful? Why am I so fat? Why do I find it so hard? Okay, why do I find it so hard to exercise? Maybe it's because I don't like exercising. Why don't I like exercising? Because it's painful. Why is it painful? Because I'm killing myself because I think burning myself out is the way to lose fat. Not necessarily. There are multiple ways to do it. There's multiple avenues we can explore to lose weight. There's team sports. There is high intensity interval training, which does hurt and it does burn. But if I'm a beginner, I wouldn't start with high intensity interval training. And that's what I said in the very beginning. I was explaining that there's a whole learning curve to this. We have to start slow and build up. And it's the build up. If we dive right into the deep end, we drown because we can't swim. So we got to figure it out. We got to start building up our tolerance, building up the idea in our heads of this lifestyle, and then it helps. Now, I lived a pretty average life here. I enjoyed myself. It's normal. It wasn't nothing super here, nothing supernatural, nothing amazing. Just a standard life. You know, I fell off the wagon 19 times. I didn't just, lose my mind and start moaning and falling off the wagon and just deciding to give up. No, I started the grid, so I finish it. Okay, that's the first step. Too many times we start something and we don't finish it. I start the grid, I finish that grid. So I'm holding myself accountable with a grid. First day of 70. Excellent. Now let's take it on. If I give up and I can't even finish the grid, then I shouldn't even bother. I shouldn't even try and lose weight because I'm a disgrace. Now, we have to really speak to ourselves this way sometimes. We got to hold ourselves accountable, and we got to be strict with ourselves, because now we're like, oh, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. We're just taking ourselves too, we're babying ourselves too much. Smack yourself in the face to hold yourself accountable. I have to hold myself accountable. Do I always want to do this? Sometimes no. But then I look at the grid, I'm like, okay, today I haven't done anything. Maybe I should do something. Maybe I should go for a walk. Half-hour walk, 45-minute walk. Maybe I should make myself a salad or whatever it is. I should do some of that. Because I'm looking at the list, I'm looking at the grid, and the grid's got to be somewhere visible. Ideally, I should have stuck it on my wall. I didn't. I have a little bookshelf here that I keep the grid on, so I always see it. It's in a place that I sit at every day, so I see it every day. And that helped me hold myself accountable. I look at it, I'm like, oh damn, I haven't done what's necessary. I need to get involved. That's it. So that's the grid. That's my 70 days. How did you hold up? Did you start the grid? Did you think this is a good idea? What do you think of the results? Are they spectacular? Not really. Why are they not spectacular? Well, the grid tells me. I messed up 19 times, but then on top of that, I had 1, 2, 3. Let's count the days of booze, because booze is the real killer. Booze, in my opinion, if we were to cut out booze, I don't think we'd be that overweight. Booze is a killer. But no, wait a minute. I got to count the days where I didn't put circles. Beers here. So let's see. Yep. That's another one. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. Only had 2 beers there. That's 5. So let's say in total I messed up 25 days. That's still not that bad. But not that bad doesn't get us the best results. You can live a good life, enjoyable life, or let's say a good life, a good lifestyle, and you can enjoy the things that make you happy, like a few beers with your friends, going for dinner with friends. That's all enjoyable. We need to stay healthy in the mind, because if we're stressing out over food and we have a bad relationship with food, that's going to cause other problems, and they're going to manifest themselves in different ways in our life. So I lived a standard life. I was pretty disciplined. I mean, the discipline starts with keeping the grid. Second discipline is following through and exercising. But all in all, it was okay. It wasn't the best. I will do another grid, another 70 days where I do go harder, and then you'll see the results are going to be, they'll be spectacular. Let's put it that way. Oh no, what did I say spectacular? I'll be slimmer. Let's put it that way, because I've done it before, and it's not the end of the world. Let's put it this way. This is a preliminary to what comes next. Okay, this is the first 70 days of many, and it's really going to help you like it helped me. I mean, again, the summer period is probably the hardest period, or let's say the festive periods, because Christmas is a little bit intense as well. But at the end of the day, this grid is really key. I really recommend it. So let me know what you think about this grid. Give it a go if you haven't tried it. I'm finally going to put up the video of how to make the grid. It's not rocket science either. I explained it in the first video. I just never got around to actually filming me doing the grid. But it's 3 by 3 centimeter boxes, and that's it. And then you do it on an A4 sheet of paper, you get 70 squares. And those 70 squares are going to be the 70 days that I have to follow. And that's a great accountability checklist right there. Every day you're holding yourself accountable. It was great. Every day I held myself accountable. I know exactly what's up. When I look back on it, I'm like, oh damn, I ate pizzas there, I drank beers there. It tells me everything I need to know about why I didn't get the results that I wanted. I wanted something more spectacular, but I didn't get it. Why? I look at the grid and it tells me why. So give it a go. And before I leave you, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and we'll hold all of ourselves accountable and see what's up with this grid. See you soon.